wonder what van life is like in the Midwest? Well, let me tell you, we deal with the extreme cold and the extreme heat. It gets freaking hot here, and you should know it gets freaking cold. So let me go through my van and tell you and show you how I stay warm and how I stay cool in the summer. So there's plenty of ways to heat the van. You got the diesel heater, you got the buddy heater. I hear about this Olympian Wave being better than the buddy heater. In the other van, I've always used the buddy heater. It has been fine. In this van, same thing, buddy heater. This thing works fine, man. I mean, you just start it up. When I built this, I had to add these so this thing sticks out a little bit more, because otherwise heat would get trapped under here. But yeah, it's worked pretty good. So I also have a little plug-in heater. So when I'm on shore power, I just use that, not waste propane on that. Okay, so I'm gonna go through how I keep my van cool in the summer. I'm sure everybody that has been in the extreme heat has been miserable in their van overnight. I've done it a couple times. I can't imagine out in Arizona or Southern California or Florida, whatever, in the summer. It gets pretty hot here in the Midwest. In Chicago, it gets pretty hot. Humidity, we just get the humidity. So here's what I did. On the front of my new van, I built this box. It's like a triangle looking box. I rigged it up. This box has a 2,000 watt generator. Honda. I got the Honda one. This plugs into here, which if you've seen another video, which I don't even know, I didn't make yet, but I'm going to make a video on what these are and how they work. But it's basically a power source selector, shore or generator. Which one do you want to use? So this is shore. This is a pass-through. And this also works when the generator is running. So if I plug in a shore, this is also working through shore-like. So I have this generator. I start it up, and I got power run into the van. Let me show you. Right there is a portable AC. So this thing kicks ass. I made a hole in the side of the van and put a dryer vent. This part was tricky. The key to these is airflow and making sure the hot air comes out. So I made this, there's a hole here, and this lines up with it when it closes, and this is like an insulation deal to keep the heat from coming into the van but going nowhere but out. And there it is. Generator runs the AC, also charges the batteries overnight, which is awesome. Here's the problem, and here's where I'm going to blow your mind. That generator only holds about a gallon of gas, which only runs for about 6 hours running that AC. So unless you're going to get up in the middle of the night and refill that son of a bitch, you only got 6 hours. That sucks. So what do? I came up with something crazy. I actually figured out a simpler way to do it, but check this out. Pump is taking gas from here. It's going up to here to a splitter. Then it's pushing on through this way and this way. This way, it's just pumping into the gas tank, filling it up. Very little bit though. Most of it's going back into the tank. When the generator is running, this will be on a half hour. Every 4 hours, it will do this process for a half an hour. And it'll take about a half an hour for this to fill. But actually it'll take less than a half an hour. It'll take like 20 minutes to fill. So what's going to happen here eventually is the tank in here is going to fill up. And when it does, it's going to build up a little bit of pressure where pressure is going to back up, and most of it will be going this way. In fact, all of it. None will be going in anymore because it's... But during that 10 minutes when this is full and it's still pumping, pressure is being built up, and this is the relief for the pressure just going right back into this tank. Now, once I perfect this tank is going to have to turn into the big tank. So what you just saw was actually messages that I sent some friends of mine of me building that crazy contraption. It worked. That gas can that I put on the side, every night, that thing would, as long as that's full, you have an extended tank. So after doing some further research, what I want to do is tap into the van gas tank. And how I'm going to do that, these things are way different than any other van. There's a pressure inside that tank, so I get a little nervous trying to tap into that, but I came up with a crazy idea. So, let me flip this. Here's the fill tank for the gas, right? All it is, when we look under here, there's this line right here. This is just a rubber hose. Whoop, goes right to it. So I'm going to run this thing out of gas and cut here and maybe go a few inches over and cut there. Why the hell would you do that, you crazy bastard? Find some type of metal pipe that could go in between the two. I think this is a 1-inch ID. So have a pipe to go in between the two. I could put a hose clamp on both so they're nice and tight so there's no leaks. And then tap into that line. If you notice, this goes into the gas tank, which is closer to the bottom. So when this thing is full, this is full of gas. So tap into the metal pipe. I will seal it and everything and run a line all the way to the damn generator. Maybe have a second tap into that metal part for the return part. That's if I'm going to still do it that way. I learned that these generators have fuel pumps in them. I thought these things were gravity fed, but they actually do have fuel pumps. So given the weight and gravity on the fuel tank, most of that gas will flow to the front, but it still has to go upwards a little bit to get into the tank. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do all sorts of crazy testing first. But I just think maybe the fuel pump on the generator will be slightly just powerful enough to suck that gas up a few inches. And if it does, I'm golden, man. I could run this thing for 72 hours straight. And the fact that the gas line goes, I'm talking about the gas line in that I showed you, it doesn't go directly to the bottom, but it's like right there, which is good because I can't run this thing out of gas then. If anybody has any suggestions, please, I'm open to it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing. So now, if I could get that all to work, now I have continuous power overnight to run that AC. That is almost essential in the summertime. Let me tell you, that max fan, it's great, but in the summer heat, it ain't doing shit. It's doing nothing. I've been in this van sweating my ass off. No. And the other van, oh my God. Before I even had the max fan or AC, I spent the night in a summer night one time in the van, and I'm like, never again. I ended up having to start the van and turn the AC on, which sucks. Who wants to do that? That's a lot of gas, man. The little generator, 1 piston. The other van was 8. Now this one's only 6, not the point. 1 piston or 8. Comes down to like, I think I was spending, well, if you go back and look at my other videos, I think I was spending about $3 a night on
AC for gas. So in the summer, it gets a little more expensive. I think still, on average, I'm spending about $60 a month on temperature control in my van. In the grand scheme of things, it ain't bad.
Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I might come up with more. It really depends on how far this one goes. Maybe I'll talk about the movie Nomadland. That's been kind of popular lately. I'll give you my opinion on it. Peace.